Now, remaining parts of the lesson. When the servants of the Surendra opened the doors of the huge barns, soon all the common people arrived as fast as they could. Then the Surendra stood at the door of the barn and invited them in and said heartily, "Take as much as you can and do not be afraid. If an impostor means looking same person's duplicate like who looks me comes to threaten and stop you, drive him away fearlessly." Then all the town people filled their pockets and bags till they could hold on more and were ready to go back. When the real Surendra arrived and cried, "Thieves, robbers!" but no one people gave response to him. They all thought he must be impostor. Then Surendra ran to the king's palace and requesting him, "Your Majesty, I am being robbed and looted to all my treasure by the people of the town. When I protested, they began to chase me." Then the king replied, "But I heard your own servant invited them to do so. Did you not give him the order yourself?" Surendra replied, "Never I gave the order." Then the king sent two messengers to brought that person who gave the order. Then soon the Surendra, Vandana and children are arrived. The real Surendra got shocked to see the impostor. Then he cried, "You are a fraud." The king got puzzled to look both of them, and even he cannot find the difference between of them. So the king told to Vandana, "You have to decide which one is your husband." Then Vandana replied, "She will ask them a questions." Then first she asked to impostor, means duplicate, impostor Sakka, "Is it better to be generous to yourself or your family or neighbors or servants?" Sakka replied promptly, "To all. When we are generous, others also become generous, and so everyone is happy and prosperous." Then Vandana asked to the real Surendra, same question. Then Surendra replied, "To none. Being generous only wastes precious wealth that can never be recovered." Listen this, the Vandana gathered her children close and stand close with the god Sakka and said, "This is my true husband." Listen this, the original Surendra cried of grief and disbelief, "No, my dear wife and my children, I am your real husband and father." Then look after this, God Sakka, with a blinding flash of light, he changed his setup to his original form. And he said to the king, "I am not Surendra, and I came down from the heavens just to teach a lesson to the miserable man Surendra." And he said to Surendra, "Do you see what your miserliness has done? Even your own wife and children do not want you." Listen this, Surendra sprang tears from the eyes, and he felt very shameless. Then Sakka advised him, "Your only hope for salvation is for you to stop being a miser. So can you bring yourself to be more generous?" Then Surendra replied, "Yes, I will try to be a little more generous." Then Sakka warned, "You will have to be a lot more generous, or I will be back for you." And said this suddenly, the god Sakka vanished. Then Surendra embraced his wife and children happily. Then Vandana told, "Shall we celebrate? I will make dozens of laddus." Listen this, Surendra cried loudly, "Dozens of laddus?" Then he thought about the warning of Sakka and he agreed and said softly, "Very well." So, overall, in this lesson, the author was thinking the miserable means miserness is very bad things and it is bad thinking also. So, be happy and share your things with your family and with your friends. Sharing is the good way to make your relationship good. Thank you, children. I hope you understood this lesson.